Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that the families in which we are raised, the messages that we get when we are young, become form our consciousness. They become our belief systems, and our beliefs are something that is reinforced constantly within our family, where everybody believes the same thing, and it becomes the truth, which of course it's not the actual truth of reality. Our reality, our sense of reality, has been stripped to such simplistic, primitive ideas about what life is. It's all limited to our material and physical existence, and yet we're at the same time disconnected from our bodies and from nature itself. So we've been raised in such a simplistic way, and because of that, because we're disconnected from nature, and because we're disconnected from the feminine, which is feelings and intuition and connection with something bigger than we are, and the abundance of nature and the kind of mysticism that is all around us, it simplifies and makes primitive the way we live. And so much of my work with other people is about bringing back the connection to our inner self and nature. So the actual truth of who we are, and the fact that what I call by nature, what I think is so important for us to connect to, is so much larger than is seen by the eye. It's always amusing to me to talk about science and how we're raised in a world that sort of gives its power to scientific discovery, whereas in my understanding, the things that we're discovering through science is what's always been there. We're just finding better technology, stronger microscopes and stronger telescopes to discover what's already been there. So what I'm finding in my path of reconnecting to who I am and to this world and expanding what I understand about reality is that we actually can get all kinds of knowledge and information without necessarily outside tools or having to read any books, because so much of a kind of wisdom that I got access to in these last several years came from my slowing down my life, reducing dramatically the amount of socialization that I do, and spending enormous amount of time on my own, in nature, in a kind of meditative state where I process the feelings. I'm not just kind of stuck in space and nothingness. I am, going within my body, understanding the signals, the pain, the aches, the reactions, and processing them. And that alone gave me so much information that I've been posting daily, practically daily for years now, and there is still so much, and there is always more. So what I want to say is that our wisdom doesn't come from the books or from other people per se. Our wisdom, the way we've been taught education is something intellectual. It's all about our mind, memorization, things like that. Whereas what I found on my journey is that so much information can be received when we connect with our true nature, and through that inner self, that inner nature, we connect to, all that is, and so much information is available to us from the collective unconscious and conscious, And it's really, really interesting for me because I feel that the way we treat education at large is going to change dramatically because so much is available freely online these days, and so much is available when we tune in within. And yet, of course, what I find, other people, of course, can give so much to us, and I'm constantly in relationship and reach out to people who can guide me, and I've come to where I am today on the shoulders of the wisdom of people who have come before me. But what I find more significantly is that it's not so much from reading, or it's not, although reading is absolutely an amazing source of information, but it's mostly through transmission, through exchange of energy with these people who inspire me, because when they go into their mode of channeling information, that they become messengers, deliverers of information for me, and it's through energetic transmission that I receive what it is that I've reached out to them to receive. And the way I find them is through some information that they are posting and they are channeling. And every time I connect with something that really speaks to me, I reach out to this person, and they become my guide for a time, or for a moment, or for a season. And this is how I work with others as well. My work with others is very, very much centered on sharing the tools that helped me to connect to myself. Everything we need is within. And I know that it's, you've probably heard this phrase before, but it's harder to understand. How do you get there? How you get there is spending a lot of time on your own. So you can wash yourself clean eventually from all the conditioned beliefs and all the beliefs we've formed in our childhood about reality, which really hasn't served us well. It's actually quite limiting in many ways. The reality is so much bigger than anything that we've found through science so far. And it continues boggling our minds that are just not yet capable of fathoming, the bigness, the hugeness of this universe, the degree of depth and mystical nature of it. So, and yet, where I got to required me surrendering the idea, my self-concept, the one that was formed through my parents and through the cultures in which I was raised and through the formal education that I received. None of that material has really helped me when I went into my crisis. And now I understand that all of us who are going through difficult moments now are here going through awakening, and we are all of us who live here now are here to participate in the tremendous changes that we're going through now as a collective, energetically. And part of that change, the one that I'm really, really interested in, is to really look at the way we pass on information in our families. I view families as, unfortunately, places of great violence and dysfunction and perpetuation of that violence and dysfunction. And none of us really understand what it means to love. Our love is conditional. We get angry at people with whom we're in relationships when something they do or say makes us feel less than comfortable, instead of going within and understanding what are those feelings and sensations telling us about ourselves. So just really wanted to share that I am going through quite a lot of pain these days. I'm going through, as I said in my previous video, I'm going through another spiraling, going into depths yet again. And it really forces me to let go of a lot of my ideation about people in my life and the way life was supposed to be, and surrendering to where life is taking me. And I feel that a lot of people who are coming to me now are going through a similar process. And what is scary and what produces so much pain is that what we thought reality was, what we thought we were, what we thought our purpose here was as mothers, as women, as men, as families, as partners, is not at all what it's all about. And we're here actually to expand and grow, and relationships are laboratories for growth, as I often say. And as each one of us is awakening, we're putting evolutionary pressure on all the other people with whom we're relating. A lot of people will resist, as I'm observing in my own life, but there will be people in whom your seed will be planted, or who are starting to stretch and question their own beliefs. And this is the process. This is really the process these days. So that's what we're here for. And that is why everything feels so overwhelming these days. So just wanted to share with you where I am and how I see where we're right now, and where we're going is we are redefining what it means to live, what it means to love, why we're here, what is the purpose. And it's very, very different than what patriarchal society has led us to believe. And we're going to be raising our children in a very different way, and I'm really, really happy about that. We're going to hopefully allow them to free them from the patriarchal conditioning that we've inherited ourselves, so that they can be here to build a world that is very different from the world from which we're coming. We're returning to wisdom that is innate and is available to all of us when we're willing to let go of all of our conditioned beliefs that really don't serve us anymore, and expand our mind and our sense of self to create a different paradigm with values that we've lost through patriarchy in the last 5,000 years. Anyway, this is what's sort of wanted to be shared today, and please let me know how it lands for you. Thank you.